Hello everyone, thanks for joining us. Today we're going to talk about some tricky Mandarin sounds, and because when I'm teaching, a lot of people have problems with some sounds in Mandarin, so we're going to have some videos about different groups of Mandarin sounds which are tricky for foreign learners or like non-native speakers. So if you have that problem, you can refer to our videos and I hope we can help you to figure it out. So first of all, we're going to talk about why do we find things tricky. Well, it's because of some reasons. First of all, it's probably because in your own language you don't have that sound, like the ji, qi, xi and the zhi, chi, shi. Sorry. Or zhi. Like those are very tricky for a lot of learners because simply it's just not in their own language and the pronunciation is quite tricky. It's like when I'm trying to do the Spanish R, I just, like, the double R or the R in front, I just can't, my tongue is not flexible enough because I don't have that in Chinese. So, I mean, it's common, it's very normal, you find it difficult, it takes time, okay? So, and another reason is probably you have the sound, but you represent that sound with a different letter. Or you have that letter, but in your own language, that letter is something else. For example, this one is ci in Mandarin, but in English you have several pronunciations for this letter C. So when you see this sound in Chinese, that will be ta, ke, okay, so it's not cake. Or is also like when you are having it in your own language, that's Q, right? For most people, European languages, this letter probably represents something to do with K sound, K sound, like a quarter or quickly. But in Chinese, it's not. Chinese is Qi, like the beer, the Qingdao beer everybody loves, most people love. Okay, so that's the Qi sound instead of the Q sound. So it's not Q. Have nothing to do with Q, okay? Q has nothing to do with Q. So that's probably another reason you have the sound represented by a different letter, or the same letter represent a different sound in your own language. So it's confusing for you. And also it's probably you just don't know how to make the sound, and because you haven't figured out the right method to do it. So what we're going to do today, we're going to do two sounds today. Actually two groups of sounds. That would be bo, po, and the, te, okay? So these two groups of sounds. So when you look at this bo and po, the and te, okay, they're quite different in with Chinese speaking, but it's probably not that different in your own language. And usually, like when you say sports, that's the P, right? But sports, the P sounds like this one in Chinese. So how do we make the difference? How do we distinguish them? So get a piece of paper ready in front of you, or you can use your hand, okay? So what are we going to do is we're going to do an experiment. We're going to put it in front of our mouth and see what happens to this paper, okay? So when you do this one, you do bo. Sorry, I was trying to do the other one. We do bo, okay? So you can feel the air goes out very strongly and the paper feels something, but not really. The paper doesn't really move too much. Bo, bo, right? Okay? So, but when you do this one, you do the other one, it's like you're blowing a candle. You do it like po. You see the paper moves because of the air, okay? Po. Try again. Po or po. If you're using your hand, you can feel the air, okay? Like the first one, the air is hitting your hand, okay? So po, okay, very strongly. Po, like blowing, okay? So that's the difference between po and po, okay? Well, we used to have a game in Chinese. We're going to, we have like candles in front of you, and you have to blow candles by talking. So people will be like, pao or like pai or p, you know, so always the po sound, the p sound. Okay, so that's the bo and po. De and te is similar. So for the de, you can also use this method. You say de is very de, and te. Oh, it's not as strong as the po because the po is po. Okay, so still de, you can feel the it's very strong, but te is not as strong as that. Te, like time, te, like dog, de. Okay, like that, not exactly the same. So de and te. Let's do some examples here. So here I have some bo and po. So let's see if you can do this one. So that's 跑步. 跑步. Okay. 品牌. 品牌. Good. 别怕. 别怕. Okay, last one. Okay. 宝贝. 宝贝. Okay, so that's the B and P sound. Let's do some de and te sound. So, 同道. 拖沓. 特大. 到底. Okay, very good. So that's it for our lesson today. I hope that was helpful. And we're going to have more videos about different groups of tricky Mandarin sounds. And I hope you enjoyed it. Bye. I'll see you next time.